Hello, everybody. How are you? Let me tilt this camera back just a touch. It's so good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. So, how is everybody? Oh, and Lisa, I sent you a text. I want to get your address because I actually bagged up the quilts that I don't want, and I'm going to try to go to the post office tomorrow and mail it. So I almost canceled tonight because this arm is giving me a fit. So, and this shoulder has started acting up because it's compensating for this shoulder. All I've got to say is it's not easy getting old. But I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. In fact, everybody think good thoughts about our Miss Jody. She went in for one of her cancer rechecks and they saw what they think is calcium. I understand that feeling because in one of mine on my chest x-ray, they saw a shadow. It turned out to be fine. So we're going to cross our fingers that Miss Jody gets just as good a response. So hello, hello. And until more people get here. Aha, there, Diane 57. How wonderful to see you. That is super fantastic. So today, Mark and I got a lot of garbage out of here. It's kind of slow going getting this place straightened up. Annette Parsons, how are you? And but with this shoulder giving me a fit, I'm not sure whether it's the shoulder or the wayward shot I got. I wish there was a way I could show you the bruise that I have from that vaccination. And I've had so many of them, and only two in my life have given me trouble. So makes me sad. But anyway, I'm going to leave all of our um Sunset Cowboy and show you this. And I need to do one thing. This week I tried very hard working on my Sunset Cowboy. The problem is with this shoulder acting up, it's very hard because the way I do it, it it makes my shoulder hurt. And it's the oddest thing that when I get up, move around, and do stuff, it starts hurting. But if I sit on the couch or in my recliner, it doesn't hurt. So explain that one to me. But I don't know. It must be in a certain movement or activity or lack of it. But I found that when I sat up to work on the Sunset Cowboy, that it really hurt. And I find the pain is right here, the closer to your head. Oh, there she is. Okay. Um, Actually, I have not gotten the tetanus shot yet, because when I went to get Mark went with me, and we both got our RSV and our next COVID. And he said, let's not give you 3. You can come back in a couple weeks. So now I'm like, oh no. But I want to get ready and show you something that I have been able to work on. And I'm so crazy about it that I want Mark to help me make a small bolster type lace pillow so that I can more easily do it from the couch at night. So your shoulder hurts more when you're in your recliner. Isn't that interesting? Your right shoulder is so bad you have to limit cutting. Oh, see that's hard. And I have found that as we get older, our shoulders are very vulnerable. They can't do what they used to do. So, oh, let me see. I'm looking. Oh, I tried to be self sufficient and put this in. I put my bobbin winding pillow in my basket to bring down because I have this wonderful big woven basket that I carry my stuff in. And unfortunately, it tilted to the side, and I'm going to have to straighten out my. Oh, we're getting people in here. Hello, Debbie's here. You missed Sunday, and Thursday was your granddaughters were there. Oh, that's right. And I think last Thursday I didn't. Was I not here Thursday because that's the day I got the shot? So, because I was hurting pretty quick. But anyway, I just wanted to show you. I wanted to do some lace making, but uh, it looks like I did a pretty good job of tangling these puppies when I was on my way down. Let me see. Oh my goodness. But see my lace I made? This is just a very, very basic. It's from a book about torsion quilting. And I am going through and doing here we go. I'm going through and I'm doing the exercises, the practice pieces oh boy, it doesn't take much to tangle these. Now I have a handmade crochet thing that you can put your bobbins on that keeps them in place. But I thought, silly me, I'm just going to go downstairs. Nothing will happen to it. Now, I tell you, watching the YouTube bobbin lace makers, whoops, I lost another one. The threads I'm using, I have some different weights. Hold on a second. I'm going to reach way down and get this one. But the threads I'm using are different weights, and it means it's a little tougher to keep these wound up. So, oh, thank you, Miss Bonnie. I did this all last night. I made the pattern. They had a pattern in the book, but it was so tiny, and I thought, no, if I'm gonna, I had only just begun to learn this 7 years ago. And I said, if I'm going to learn this, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Now, if y'all get too bored with this, I'll go ahead to the cowboy and come back to this. But okay, let me see. Goodness gracious. Yeah, Mark said he was eating dinner. I had finished mine pretty fast, but he was eating dinner and I didn't want to bother him. So he said, why don't you let me carry the basket and you carry the pillow? And I said, oh, no, I'll be fine. Well, guess what? Oh, this is not too hard. Luckily, it hadn't been too long. All right, so I'm going to go back to where, all right, I've got these and they're twisted. I'm trying to find a way for this pin cushion to stay on the pillow. I don't think it's going to. Okay, now I tried putting some little sticky Velcro dots on to hold it on, but I'm not sure it wants to play. All right, so these two will go over here, then this, and I'm just looking up here to see when I can get these straight. But I've got to tell you, the last time I tried this, I was having problems with my parathyroid, which was making me very my parathyroids were way too big and it was making me very sluggish and my brain wasn't working so good. So now looking at this, I don't know if it's watching the YouTube videos that made it easier for me because I'm very much a visual learner. Now, this thread is way too little, but it had the color I wanted. And I think I'd have been better off using an orange thicker thread that I had. And I need to find a place to get the bobbin threads where they're not too expensive, but they're the right weight, because that seems to be the tricky part. All right, now let me see. Last two, guys. Yay. But people, I love YouTube people. They are so generous with their time and their knowledge. Oops, I lost that one again. This bobbin is making me angry. Ugh, I don't want it to fully unwind. All right. Whew. It went under my desk. Okay. So now I can show you a little bit. This is the first of the patterns that come free in the torsion lace book. And torsion lace is just a variety. The laces were kind of named by the region that they were done in. And I'm not sure, I can't tell you exactly where torsion came from, but it's one of the laces. And she had those wonderful free patterns. So I really like it. And what you do when you make up a lace pattern, what you do it on cardstock or oak tag, you've probably heard it called. And okay. Well, I'm glad it's not tendonitis, I guess. Oh, goodness. Okay. So here now are my bobbins. As I get better with this, I don't think I'll have as much problem with my rogue bobbins. I feel like it a lot has to do with my inexperience in handling these. So now I'll back this up and I'll show you real quick before we start our Sunset Cowboy. It's important when you work on this to try to keep your bobbins the same length. It just makes it so much easier when you're doing the weaving. And just so you know, bobbin lace making is a form of weaving. Okay, so I want to get these pins off this. This is called a cookie pillow. Okay. And I heard one of the teachers said, we get our word for cookie from the Danish because they called this the cookie pillow. So instead of the British who call their cookies biscuits, the Danish called them cookies. So that's a Danish word. All right. So this one, I think this was over here. So these shouldn't be tangled. So let me quickly, I got this to handle. One yellow one, this one. Okay, get that over. Oh, this one. It's funny. They just play games with you. They saw me put this in the basket and they said, "Yay, we're free." Okay. These are considered the passive bobbins, okay? Passive bobbins. These two are the worker bee bobbins. And since these bobbins are all alike and I have two colors of the same thread, I just took a marker and put a dot on these to make sure that I know that, whoops, this came off the pin. Hold on. Okay, and that tells me too. I've got a tension this, which just means pull these down straight and pull this tighter, and then that makes sure that your weave looks good. I wish it showed up better, but I'll hold it closer. But I've done what's called a double twist before I put the pin in. Now I have to do what's called close the stitch around that bobbin. And Lisa does some bobbin lace, so she can help. If I get something wrong, Lisa, or you have a better way of explaining it, go for it, darling. So, because I like y'all to get the best information possible. So, what I'm going to do is just move, carefully slide them. You don't want to roll them or tangle them, but carefully slide these a little over. I'm keeping it purposely tilted so that you can see it a wee bit better. And let me bring you in just a little closer. So these are my working bobbins, my active bobbins. I bring these two passive ones over. Now, I'm doing the whole stitch or cloth stitch. So that's where you take the number 2 bobbin, put it over the number 3 bobbin, then take what's now the number 2 and the number 4 bobbin, put them here. Then you bring this last one over, and that way you've got the 2 purples still together. You push those out of the way, and now this bobbin's acting up. I'm so new to this that any little thing out of place irritates me because I'm concentrating so hard. Okay, so now I've done the purple. Now I'm going to bring the yellow closer. And to lengthen the bobbin, since I put that slip knot, you just kind of turn it this way and that will lengthen it. So now I do the same. The reason I'm loving working on this, I do the same stitch every time. So there we go. This is called a cross. These are called twisting and a single cross. Then the yellow ones are done. You push those out of the way. Then I bring my next 2 colors in. I do a cross, single cross, a double twist, and a single cross. Then push those out of the way. And this is what I do when I go all the way across. So it's cross, double twist, single cross. Push the green ones out of the way. But this is easy. I can do this. Oh, they do like to run free. You're right, Bonnie. Then they laugh at us. Okay, it's ready. So I do a cross, a double twist. Well, when I say double twist, I just mean 2 twist and another cross, because I'll show you what another twist is when I get to the edge. But this is pretty simple. And if you want to try it to see if you're going to like it, you could use clothespins instead of a bobbin. You could use anything that will just hang down like that a little bit and give some weight. I just did that stitch and this thing ran off with me. My other bobbins, I've noticed, depending on the style bobbin, and I just have cheap bobbins. I haven't invested much money in this. So, but see, what you end up doing is the under over thing, which then makes the weaving design. Hold on. This must be so exciting. But I am enjoying this. So this weekend, this is a big pillow. This is like a 23-inch pillow because I didn't know. And I thought, oh, well, I should order a big one. Well, only if you're sitting at a special stand or table or doing something really big. Now, there's another green that's come in here. So I do a cross, twist, and cross, then push the green ones out of the way. So this, now, as I do other of her free patterns, they're each going to have more skills in it. But just so you know, this whole stitch or cloth stitch is the basic stitch. And you notice just then, that same bobbin. This bobbin's getting me angry. What I should do is keep some little rubber bands handy. I know what I'll do. I don't know if this will work, but let me try it. All right. So let me roll this back up. This is like what, 3rd or 4th time this has gone all the way to the floor. But I noticed that the winding area for these is rather small and it's very close to the end of the bobbin. my other bobbins have this extra little thing here, and these don't. So I guess that'll help me make a decision if and when I order more bobbins. So I'm gonna get this back up, then I'm gonna twist this around, and then I'm gonna do just like I do with my sewing bobbins. Here we go. There we go. I dare it. All right, so I'm gonna do the cross. I'm gonna do the twist. Yep, I just saw that unhooked itself. Well, I don't have that many of those around here, darn it. But what I do is I wind it up, okay? You do a counterclockwise design. Then I just take this yarn and make a loop and twist it over so that it catches that. All right. So now all I have left to do is the final cross, then the yellow ones go over there. So I've almost made a whole pass. Bring these purple ones over, cross, twist, cross. All right. Same thing. Cross, twist, cross. That is, it becomes so natural. Oh, before I put a pin in, because that's the next step is to put a pin, I have to do a double twist. Twist always go from the right to the left. Crosses always go from the left to the right. So that'll help keep you straight. Now what I'm going to do is kind of bring these back over and tension it because it gets all squirrely. See how everything is pulled to the side? I am surprised, Diane, because I would have said the same to you. That, oh, I wouldn't have the patience. But somehow the first time I heard about it, it piqued my interest. Now, I want to tell you too, I am very interested in the hand arts because I feel like that we are going to lose so many of our hand arts. And once they're lost, they're really hard to get back. So I'm just bringing these over like this. Bring these over and just kind of stretch them down. And you just kind of pet them to put a little tension on them. See, like that? Now, while you're doing that, this is your worker bee. So he's come all the way across. So you pull him out here and you just gently nudge those. Now, I'm going to put a pin here so I know exactly where I need to go next. I'm going to give you one more shot, a view of what I've done. Can you see the woven part with the pins all around it? Now, I can see a problem too. My green yarns are acting up on me. So I'm going to have to work a little. Oh, I think I might have straightened it, but you gotta, just keep an eye on your little thread. See how the green one's acting up? So before I do too many more stitches, I need to fix that. It's one of the oldest laces. Ah, very good. Okay. All right. So this is what I worked on last night and a little bit today because I can sit back in my chair where my arm doesn't hurt. And, I can take, if I want to keep this on my pillow, I might have to put a big pin that pin cushion on. I learned don't get used to putting your pins on the pillow because if you do, then it's liable to make every time you push a pin into the pillow, it kind of loosens that area up. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right there. Dumb bobbin. This time a turquoise bobbin unwound. But when you're sitting in a chair too, they don't get away from you as easily. All right. I have been working, like I said, I've been working some on this, but not as much as I should. It's hard when I'm hurting to concentrate, and this needs concentration. So I'm gonna get ready and show you. But one thing I have been doing is drawing patterns, drawing patterns, drawing patterns on my Steam Machine 2. And I keep a reasonable size piece of each of the fabrics near me so that as I draw the patterns and want to cut them, then it makes it very easy to then go ahead and put the fabric on and you're ready to go. So this, I can do this without hurting my arm and my brain, but let me show you what I've gotten so far. I feel like it's going so slowly, and it's not hard to do. But the same things that made me a little afraid of it in the beginning are the same things that are happening now. And it takes concentration for me. All right. Oops. It looks like part of it's not quite ironed down good. All right. So I've done some, but I don't really think you'll notice that much more. But it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful project when I get it done. I was watching Miss Jody's show, the squirrel quilter, the quilt squirrel, and she just loves it. She's starting on her Vincent Price, which is going to be amazing. Amazing. So, oh, it's so good to see all of you. I'm thinking the humidity has a lot to do with it. And in fact, I hope we get some rain. We got a few little sprinkles, but we haven't had any real rain in 3 weeks. It's getting dry out there. And the other day when it was 100 degrees, luckily I watered everything the night before because I think we got to a high of 97. But I'm going to go ahead and lay this open for you and just kind of go over one more time of how this is done because I worry about some of you have written for patterns and I don't want you to feel like, well, gosh, I came to watch and you didn't do much. So let's see what we can get done. All right. But I've noticed that while I'm working on this, I'm not sitting back against a chair, which makes my arm act up. And then you have to use both. You have to use both arms to make it work. And some of these pieces are tiny. Now, Jody does, oh, that's what I was telling you. So Jody's working on hers and she absolutely loves doing it. And I love that she loves doing it. And I wish that I loved it just a little bit more, but I do like it and I will be glad, especially when I've gotten it done. All right. So I'm going to show you. I was writing up these. Oops. I've already got that piece on. Oops. Okay. Let me see what I've got. Let me get my iron on. But when I started this, I got so excited. I couldn't wait. But it's tricky. But let me see. Okay, I've got a white area to add up here. So let me work on that to get that page. Oh, oh, that's cool. Now, what date is this? I don't know where this came from, but it's all about lace. 2013. That was a ways ago. Okay. The last time I worked on lace was in 2017. But this time, and especially watching it, because the I can watch the um, lace makers over and over and over without feeling like I'm bothering them at all. That is very nice. All right, so I'm going to work on the white up here, right here. Oh, this is a good one. Let me try this one. All right, so what I'm going to do is look for an area, a clear area, and I'm going to get a marker. Oh, hi, Michelle. Isn't it nice seeing Diane 57? We've missed her. I've got to write our darn it. I have got to write our our Marcia and make sure she's okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, and I don't even think I have to use a light box for this, because I do believe this will work. All right. So here I'm going to let me bring it over here. I'm going to trace out these two sections of the white, number one. So I lay this here, making sure I can fit it all in. And I do this. Now I want to make it bigger, so that's why I'm being a little sloppy. This is the lightest one's the only one you can make a little sloppy, because, and I'm going to put a number one so I don't forget, you can make it a little sloppy because you have to make it bigger all the way around. The other pieces will lay. Then I'll bring my iron over here, iron this really good. Then I'm going to come and quickly nip this out. All right. And let me do a real quick job. But you want to, when the darker pieces, and when a lighter and darker piece are beside each other, the lighter piece, you always do about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch bigger, because you want that to lay under the darker piece. You don't want it the opposite way around. And you don't want gaps in your coverage. Now, let me see which side of this fabric. I think this is going to be my back side. It's a little rougher looking. I make sure. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I was on screen. Hold on. Okay. So I iron my fabric. This I feel like is the back of the fabric. Looks a little rougher. Now I take and I peel the one side of the paper off the steamer seam. Let me try it again. I peel off one side of the paper, the one that I've drawn on, because otherwise I would have had to have done a mirror image, okay? Because the sticky always goes on the back. So if I drew it like the picture looked like and put it on, it wouldn't work. But see how I do it now? By the time I lay it down here, I give it just a quick touch. And now I come and cut that out, and then I'll show you how I put it on the Cowboy Sunset. What I recommend is you work on one area at a time, or one number. You could start doing your one pieces, all your one pieces, but don't start cutting them all out. I did that one time and I couldn't figure out where anything went, because some of the pieces are so small. So work one area at a time. That's what I recommend. Now, if you're good at this, like our Jody, then you could do whatever makes you happy. But I have to be very careful because it just overwhelms me. All right. So now bring this down, and I look and see it goes right here and up here. Okay. I can see that. And now if you're having problems seeing through the fabric, to where to the lines where it goes, then definitely use a light box. But this goes right here, and like I said, it's bigger than the area, like that. Since it's the low number, you're safe to iron this down. I wouldn't iron down firmly a 5 or a 6, which are the darker colors, until I had this done, because if you do that, then you are going to have a lot of pulling up to do to get the lighter colors underneath. Now, what I'm going to do is I need a piece of number 2. So I'm going to pull this fabric out that says number 2. I mean, that I know is my number 2 color. It's just dark, barely darker than white. So it's my number 2. I'm going to take off this paper of this scrap of steamosine, and I'm going to put this on here, give it a very light tap. Okay. So now steamosine is on the back of this because I'm going to do a little bit of a color. And a little bit of a color, let me show you. Now this paper from the white that I've already done can go. Now what I'm going to do, I've got this and this little, whoops, let me get you in here closer so you can see. All right, I've got this little number 2 and this little number 2 that are right on top of my number 1. So I'm going to come in here, and you know what I'm going to do? You can draw it. Take the time to draw it on. But since I've got the steamosine already on this, I'm just going to look at it and cut it out. As long as I'm close enough, that's okay. But now, I wouldn't want to just do it willy-nilly because then it won't end up looking right. But, okay. So, I'm going to lay this here. I see, oops, yep, okay. This needs to come down like this. All right, so this is pretty good. So now I'm going to go back to here, and I can see through the white right where to put it. So I'm going to carefully tear off the back paper. But this is pretty much what you do. It's like making a puzzle, and it's a great way of getting a very accurate. Now I'm going to take my iron because that's the next lightest color. See how it's barely just showing? And I gave that a little ironing. Now I'm going to come back here, hold this so maybe you can see what I'm doing. Here is the number 2 one. This looks a little trickier, so let me get an ink pen. I'm going to take and draw this one. Let me see if I can see it through. Yeah, I just can see it through. And I'm going to come and draw this. And try to keep that ink out. Well, my ink is not wanting to get on the fabric, so I've pressed it enough I can see which way it's going. So I'm going to come up here and then turn the corner and go over here and then get this. Okay. All right. Okay. So now here is the next little piece that fits right here. So I just peel off the paper. This. So really, it's just like making a puzzle. And I know you can do it. I'm cutting a couple little pieces that I see that are just a little too long. Okay. I'll put this right here. All right. So now I have these 2 little pieces, and they go on the white. So that is good. And then, oh, yeah, I chose to do the light color because it makes it so much. Here's another piece of the white that I can do. So let me get. I like to mark on the steamosine. I like to mark with a marker, with a Sharpie, because I did pencil here, but it rubs off on your fingers. So actually, and this is not going to hurt anything. All right, so I need to do this shape right here. So I'm going to come along here, and I'm going to remember to cut this out a wee bit bigger. Let me look. Okay, wee bit bigger. So that I can make sure I'm totally covered. All right, that looks very good. I'm gonna make this just a little touch bigger. Okay, so, and this is number one. Always draw your fabric on it. The phone might ring. You might have to jump up and do something, and you will not know what piece that is. But at least if you're me, you won't know what piece it is. I tend to be very forgetful. In fact, I realized tonight that I haven't put the information about the color wash on the site yet. So I will be doing that just as soon as we're done. I've already got it laid out by the printer. Mark helps me because I'm gonna have to scan it. I couldn't find it where I put it on my computer. So that's why I haven't done it yet, because I knew I would need his help. So now here's the piece that's going to go right here. Okay. What I have to do is I have to peel off the front of the paper. Right. Oh, come on, Deb. You got to get your fingernail in there. Oh, there we go. And see, I'm pulling it, and here is the steam seam. It wanted to stick to the front, so I just push it backwards. Then I get my nice piece of white fabric in here, right there. And I put this on, give it a quick touch with an iron. Now, the reason I say a quick touch is because if you iron it too much, then the glue will go all the way into the fabric. And then when you go to try to iron it on the background, it won't want to stick. And that comes from over pressing the glue. And so you just want to give it a quick touch, and then, and even when you get it where it's supposed to go, don't over iron it. You have to iron it pretty good, but don't overdo it, because then you'll have all of that adhesive going in to the background fabric, and then the fabric will fall off again. Okay. Now, in this case, I have to lift these up because this is going to go underneath here. So I lift those up and get this to go up under here. This is why it's really better if you can work from the light to the dark colors. But, sometimes you can, sometimes it doesn't quite work. All right. So now that looks pretty good. All right. So then I put these back down in place right where they're supposed to go. And now I've got all of the white part of the sky. All right. So I hope that will kind of help you see where we're going to go. Also, I've been noticing, be careful when you're touching the steam seam, because some of the adhesive, like right here, I have a little bit of the adhesive. It's stuck to my finger. So be careful when you're peeling it and placing it, that it doesn't get stuck on your finger and make a mess. And then what I do is I just put all of this here, all of, and just by tearing off pieces of the different 6 different colors, it really helps me not have to manage big pieces of fabric, and it makes me a lot more transportable. But anyway, I'm still, I don't want you to get the opinion that I'm kind of over this, because I'm not. It's just, it'll be nice when I'm not hurting, because it's very, very hard to concentrate. But Now, I can even sew better than I can work on this because this takes, I don't know, if I can, when I sew, I can kind of anchor this arm down on the arm of the chair, and that helps. But so I am loving making the color wash. Loving that. So I'm hoping that you are going to try. I was watching Alex Anderson yesterday. She's doing a cute thing from a YouTube quilter where they're making circles and doing the needle turn to put circles on 3-inch blocks. And then they'll put the box together in whatever design or pattern. And I thought, oh, don't tempt me. I've got so many things. But when it's hot weather like this, and you don't have to sit at a sewing machine with a hot iron right beside you and hot lights, it's very tempting, very tempting. But I hope to have quite a bit to show you um, of the color wash quilts on Sunday. And then I'm hoping to show you what Mark and I can try to work up in doing a bolster pillow. When I work upstairs, I have a lap desk, and then on the that lap desk, I have about 15 inches of space out from me. So let me show you a quick drawing of what I'm thinking of making. I'm thinking, okay. Now, bolster, you might know a bolster from like a bed pillow. And so this is what I'm thinking of doing. It it will only be 10 inches or so from the back to the front. And then this is going to be a work surface because that's where you lay the bobbins to weave the lace. And I need it sturdy enough to rest my hands. But then you get a bolster like right there. And I'm thinking of making a bolster from a fun noodle. And I have some more of that shiny foam plasticky foam that I'll then wrap around the fun noodle, then put a cover on it, and I'll have a bolster. So I'm hoping that Mark's going to help me make the wooden sides and a piece of wood to go across the front. And then we have two sides, and then there's going to be a knob here so I can loosen, turn the bolster as I'm making the lace. And that'll fit so comfortably on my table. And I said, it can't be too high because I have to be able to see the TV. And so we're going to try to do this. He's a little nervous, but everything I ask him to do and I show him what I want, he makes it work. And I want him to put hinges on this work surface right here so I can open and put some supplies in there when I'm done. So I like that. And I will then I will make the bolster and I'm going to cover the piece of wood on the top with a slightly convex convex surface so that the bobbins will naturally kind of want to spread out a little. You don't want to make it too steep, but I'm hoping that we're going to start working on that. So, anyway, we'll see. But that's where I have a hard time focusing and why I've always said I would like 6 lifetimes to get everything done that I want to get done because there are just so many things. I don't understand how people can say I'm bored. I don't have enough time in a day. So, anyway, but that's about that. And I'm anxious to do some dyeing, some fabric dyeing, because summer is the best time. Go outside, do it out there. So I have to think about it. I was watching Dee from the quilt show do ice dyeing, and I thought, oh, I'd like to ice dye. So we'll see. So, oh, now see, that's perfect because then you can ride the bike. As long as you can watch TV, you can bear the exercise. When I get on my elliptical trainer, I've got my TV right there. So I'm a big believer in it. Great job. The quilt, are you meaning this quilt right there? That quilt, if it is, that quilt I did in a mystery quilt. Whoops, that was a mystery quilt called Diamonds or something. I did that one about 20 years ago, and I do love it. I love the colors. So, isn't that cool? And if I could remember the woman's name, it was a Diane somebody, and it was Diamonds. So, oh, and Bonnie, I got to tell you something funny. I got to tell you something funny, girlfriend. I was looking through to see who won the three prizes from Sunday's show, my rehoming of UFOs. And I saw one of your quotes where I was talking about getting a tetanus shot because you certainly don't want lockjaw. Your comment about picturing me with my mouth frozen shut, it made me laugh so hard, Bonnie. So I wanted to make sure to thank you for that. It was hilarious. Oh, God. So that is so funny. So I can understand that, Mary, but it's good for our souls. In fact, I haven't been able to do my elliptical trainer because of this shoulder. But I tell you what, I have such empathy for our Lisa with her torn rotor cuff. Lisa, I'm so sorry, and I hope you get that surgery soon, honey. So, oh God, yes, our Bonnie is hilarious. She has a dry sense of humor. When she comes out with it, it just cracks you up. So I love that. I love it. Well, everybody, my arm is hurting. And you know my problem. I can't take NSAIDs. I can't take anti-inflammatories because I only have one kidney now. So it's hard. And Tylenol, my shoulder laughs at Tylenol. It's like you're going to do anything. And so it's a little tough. It's a little tough. And trying to go to sleep at night when I lay back in the bed is when it really hurts. So sometimes I have to sleep in the recliner. But it's getting better. I see it getting better. I know, Bonnie. What is that about? I know. So, yes, I have. Good job, Debbie. I have a heating pad by my recliner and a heating pad by my bed, and I make good use of them. And my daughter gave me one of those microfiber. It's a baby seal pillow when I had my cancer surgery, had my kidney removed. And I'll lay my hand on that seal pillow and it feels so good. Oh, I know. But and that's what I'm telling myself. I'm like, you baby the pain for a few days, and then you're like, I've got a life to live here. I can't keep doing this. But my daughter made me promise that if it doesn't get better, that I'll go see my doctor. And I said, I promise. I promise. But I'm wondering, look at the bruise from getting my vaccination. And what I worry about is, did he hit a nerve? They say if you get deep enough with the needle that you hit a vein, you might also have hit a nerve. I don't want that to be. I've had that before 30 years ago in this arm, and it took me years and years to get over it. I know. Isn't that ridiculous, Miss Mary? I mean, what in the world? Was he going for China? But oh well, I know he didn't mean to. I could tell he felt terrible about it. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to hope that it's not bad, that but that's why I get my shots in my right arm, because the last time it was in my dominant arm, and that was made it extra hard. But I had to give up my softball career. All right, guys. Well, y'all are the best. Yes, it matches my. There goes Bonnie again. Well, I don't know if it's the shot or if it's I had injured my shoulder when I was planting pots because I was lifting heavy pots and hanging baskets. So that was maybe not the best reason to get it in that arm because I don't know which one it is. So who knows? Oh, it is so good seeing you, Diane 57. And thank you, all of you, for being here. And I then earlier today, my arm hurt me, and I thought, I have to cancel my show. And I thought, no, I'm not going to cancel my show because I miss all of you. And y'all always make me feel better. So I'll be feeling so much better um just because I've been here with y'all. So let's cross our fingers. We'll see you Sunday. I can't wait for you to see the progress of the color wash quilt. It's coming along. It's coming along. And I'll you get a shot in the arm that you use the most, so you keep moving. That is pretty smart, Mary. That is pretty smart. So, and hopefully, I'll have my very first bookmark done in the lace business. So, we will see. Take good care of yourself. Stay cool, and let's all do a rain dance because we need rain. All right. Bye bye, everybody. You are the best. Bye bye.